Milton Williams will likely not be a Philadelphia Eagle in the 2025-2026 NFL season. Yes, the 25-year-old defensive tackle who had 2 sacks, a strip sack, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery in the Super Bowl for our Philadelphia Eagles will likely be moving on as we head into next season. Milton is 25, as I mentioned, and is projected to sign a 4-year, $84 million contract with teams like the Cardinals, Patriots, Vikings, and Commanders as a fit for Milton Williams. And I gotta be honest, I was kind of well aware of that. Hey, Milton Williams is probably too talented just to be one of the Eagles' rotation defensive tackle players. He's eligible for a contract. He's absolutely balled out. Players, coaches with good defensive IQs are seeing what Milton Williams is doing and going to want them a part of their team. And listen, Vic Fangio last year when he was in Miami tried to get the Dolphins to trade for Milton Williams. They couldn't do it. He goes to Philadelphia, gets Milton Williams, leads the #1 defense. Milton's a part of that, a huge part of their Super Bowl performance. Yeah, but we kind of knew that Milton was going to go. Now, when it comes to where he's going to go, anywhere but the NFC East, man. If I see Milton Williams to the Commanders, I'm going to be absolutely sick. I gotta be honest. If he went to the Cardinals and went back under Gannon, fine, so be it. The Patriots got a ton of money to spend. They need some help on the defensive line. Fine, not a problem. Don't care. The Commanders? Come on, man. We don't need that. The Cowboys? Ooh, ew. No, thank you. No, thank you. Keep him out of the NFC East. Appreciate all you did, Milton. Go get your bag because Philly's just not going to be able to cover it. And I understand our defensive line is in really, really good shape. Jalen Carter is going to be due for an extension. We have to extend him eventually. Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt. There's players on the defensive line that a Jomo. The Eagles defensive line will be fine. This is a team that as well has shown an ability to draft defensive players. Josh Sweat, a guy who could have been Super Bowl MVP, was a 4th-round pick. So while it sucks to see a member of this defensive line go, I also have trust in the organization and Howie to draft or acquire another defensive player to fill that role. And if the Eagles are truly in on this Myles Garrett sweepstakes, which I think that they might be, I really do believe Howie Roseman might pull it off. I know it's going to sound crazy, but the new TV deal that's going to be coming in 28, 29, 30, the way Nielsen said that they're tracking ratings on smart TVs, the cap's going to explode. And Howie Roseman's a genius. He knows this. Trade for Myles Garrett, backload the contract, salary cap explodes, not worth as much. A lot of mumbo jumbo. But at the end of the day, what we're talking about here is Milton Williams. And Milton was a sensational player for Philadelphia. And any team would be lucky to have him. And if we had unlimited salary cap, I would say Howie needs to get him back. But at the end of the day, when it comes to prioritizing where money is spent, the offense is pretty locked up. The team has about, I would say, what we're going to end up having when it comes to cutting player. We'll probably have around $40 million in cap, if I had to guess, give or take. Zach Bond is high priority. Zach Bond should be priority 1 for the Philadelphia Eagles. We do not and have not shown an ability to draft and develop linebackers. Nakobe Dean took 3 years to pan out, and then he did, but he still wasn't quite the player Zach Bond is. This is an all-pro player. Milton Williams was a defensive rotational piece. Milton deserves his bag, but for the Eagles, our system, and what these players mean to us, Zach Bond needs to remain an Eagle. Worst case scenario, franchise tag him. Would love to lock him up on a long-term deal. Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, both free agents. I would like to see Philly bring back one of them if they can't acquire Myles Garrett, because both obviously were sensational. Those, you would argue, were the 2 best defensive line performances in the Super Bowl, Milton and Sweat. To lose them both would stink if we weren't acquiring any additional defensive talent. Now, don't get me wrong. The D-line is still loaded even if we lose them both. Carter, Davis, Smith, Hunt, Ajomo, Booker, they're still players, but Sweat or Milton back would be huge, obviously, and Myles Garrett would be massive. But I'm preparing, and you should be preparing for Milton Williams to move on from the Philadelphia Eagles? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. I appreciate your guys' support. I will catch you next time. Peace.